133 is Dawan. How you begin your day carries more significance than most people realize. TSI Sabo Akalai Hesio Oro, the over $133, and it's not merely about establishing a routine or maintaining consistent habits. It's about constructing a divine foundation that will support everything that unfolds throughout your day. Ut over 133 3000. Each morning presents a sacred opportunity, a fresh canvas upon which God desires to paint His purposes. Test Hisabel Krita Havijura OVR 133,000. Have you paused to consider what God has specifically planned for you today, right in this very moment? In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, Free I have GVNO over 133,000. God speaks with crystal clarity directly into your destiny, your future, and the intricate plans He has carefully crafted for your life. Javan OU over 133 dolls. What transformation might occur if, instead of waking up and immediately diving into the sea of daily distractions, scrolling through notifications, I've over 133,000, checking emails or worrying about your to-do list, you chose to begin every single morning immersed in the living Word of God? What if you made the conscious decision to align your thoughts, your actions, and your entire day with the eternal truth found in Jeremiah 29:11? I'm here to tell you with absolute certainty that this is precisely where your breakthrough begins. This is the turning point, over 133,000, the pivot that can transform ordinary days into extraordinary journeys. Let me guide you through how to start your day with genuine power, clear purpose, Gyan Ot Ovar 133,000, and divine direction that comes straight from the throne of God. When you first open your eyes each morning, Tiasa Eboketia Hevi Jivin OVR 133,000, understand that the first battle you face is not against your external circumstances, your financial situation, your relationship challenges. Today I have a Jivan over 133,000, or your work pressures. The initial battle is against the clutter and chaos that can so easily fill your mind. It's in those precious early moments that I have a Jivan over under 3,000 before the world makes its demands that you need a powerful reminder of God's purpose for your life. OVR 133,000. Jeremiah 29:11 is not merely another verse to casually read and then forget. It's a divine declaration from God Himself that speaks prophetically into your future. OVR 130,000. It carries the weight of heaven's intention for your life. You might wake up thinking that today is just another ordinary day, filled with routine tasks and challenges. But God sees your day through an entirely different lens. OVR 133,000. He views each day as an integral part of a grander design, a crucial step on the journey toward the complete fulfillment of His purpose for you. In Jeremiah 29:11, I have a OVR 133,000. God makes this profound declaration. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. I saw OVR 133,000. Plans to give you hope and a future. Take careful notice of the certainty embedded in His words. I know the plans. God is not guessing about your future. Obo Otai Hevi Jivo over 133,000. He's not uncertain or unclear. He's not making up as He goes along. His knowledge of your life is not limited by the constraints of time. ISNO OVR 133,000. Nor is it hindered by the obstacles and challenges you currently face. His plans are intricately woven into the very fabric of your existence. Giavian OVR 133,000. Carefully designed to bring you prosperity even in seasons when you feel utterly lost, overwhelmed, or disconnected from your purpose. Ode over 133,000. What does it truly mean to prosper according to God's definition? OVR 133. This is a crucial question because worldly prosperity and biblical prosperity often look very different. God's prosperity extends far beyond material wealth. IVN Ode over 133 is professional success or social status. It encompasses spiritual wholeness, a deep-rooted peace that surpasses human understanding. Tais above over 133,000, and a joy that remains constant regardless of circumstances. God's comprehensive definition of prosperity includes your emotional well-being, your mental health. All you of our 133,000, the quality and depth of your relationships, and the specific purpose He has called you to fulfill. It's IOVR 133 always, and when you wake up. But each day the conscious acknowledgement that God has already set a divine plan in motion for you. Jizvanot over 133,000. It fundamentally shifts your entire perspective on life. You are no longer wandering aimlessly through your days, hoping things work out. Ejuvian OVR 133,000. You are no longer leaf blown about by every wind of circumstance. Instead, over $130,000, you are walking in deliberate alignment with a heavenly purpose that was established before you were even born. over $133. This awareness changes everything: how you approach decisions, how you respond to setbacks, and how you interact with others. Ivor Ode overall 133,000. Starting your day with Jeremiah 29:11 is fundamentally about resetting both your heart and your mind to align with the promises of God. But TV I have a G over 133,000. Life will inevitably throw uncertainties in your direction. Some days will feel like you're walking through fire, facing trials that seem insurmountable. GIVMO review at all 133,000. But even in those intense, difficult moments, God's plans are still actively working in your favor. His purposes are not derailed by your challenges, often over 133,000, they are refined through them. When you make it a daily habit to speak Jeremiah 29:11 over your life every morning, over 133,000, you're doing something far more powerful than simply reading words on a page. Gavi over VR 133,000, or you are entering into a living dialogue with the holds your entire future securely in his hands. Oh, I have Given O VR on 33,000. You're reminding yourself and declaring to the spiritual realm that his thoughts toward you are good. I have a Givion over 133,000, that he has a future filled with abundant hope prepared specifically for you. Imagine the transformation that occurs when you wake up and I have Givion over 133,000. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone to check social media or worrying about the endless tasks awaiting you, you take a deliberate moment to declare, I have a Given of R133, and God, I thank you that you know the plans you have for me today. I trust you completely because your plans are designed to prosper me, to give me hope. I have a Given over 103,000 to secure my future. That is a powerful, faith-filled declaration. It sets the spiritual tone for everything else that follows in your day. Isan over 133,000, you are placing your complete faith and confidence in the one who already knows the end from the beginning. OVR 133,000. You are allowing his word to anchor your entire day in purpose, peace, and divine perspective. But here's an important truth we must embrace. I have Jack on OVR 133,000. Trusting in God's plan doesn't guarantee that every day will be smooth sailing. In fact, it's essential to understand the context in which Jeremiah 29 was written. OVR 133,000. This promise was delivered during one of the most difficult periods in Israel's history, a time of exile when their entire world had been turned upside down. The OVR 133,000, they had been forcibly removed from their homeland, their temple was destroyed, and their future seemed hopelessly bleak. Over 133,000, yet right in the middle of that uncertainty, displacement, and national trauma, God gave them a word of hope. Over 133,000. He told them that even though they were experiencing a profoundly difficult season, his plan for them remained completely intact. Over 133,000. The exile didn't cancel God's purposes, it was actually part of the journey toward their ultimate restoration. The same principle is absolutely true for you today. Over 133,000, and whether you're facing personal trials, dealing with unexpected hardships, or walking through a season of deep uncertainty, over under 3,000, God's plan for your life is still in motion. He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for your good. Over 133,000. Even when you can't see or understand what he's doing, when you start your day with this kind of deep understanding, OVR 103,000, you take control of how you respond to life's challenges. You are no longer merely a victim of circumstance tossed about by whatever comes your way. Instead, OVR 133,000, you become a vessel of purpose, someone who recognizes that even your trials are tools in the hands of a masterful God, fond, shaping you into the person he created you to be. I have a Given OVR 133,000. There's a profound reason why God's promise in Jeremiah 29:11 ranks one of the most quoted verses in all of Scripture. I have a GV over 133,000, and it resonates deeply with our most fundamental human desires, the desire to know that our lives have genuine meaning, that we are not just existing or surviving. I have a Javian over 133,000, but truly thriving in the purpose God has ordained for us. And here's something many people miss as purpose, or is not relegated only to some distant future. I have Given over 133,000. It's for today. Each day represents a step toward the fulfillment of God's promises. Every morning is a fresh opportunity to align yourself with his plan. Over 133,000. To walk in the knowledge that you are part of something far greater than yourself, far more significant than your individual circumstances might suggest. OVR on 33,000. But let me remind you of something crucial that requires patience and faith. God's plans do not unfold overnight. Over 133,000. Sometimes they require time, often much more time than we expect or feel comfortable with. We live in an instant society where we expect immediate results. I have over 103,000, but God's timing operates on a different schedule. Here's the beautiful mystery of God's timing. While we are waiting, he is working. While we are questioning, over 133,000, he is preparing. Every season you experience, whether it feels like abundance or scarcity, over 133,000. Blessing or testing is part of God's sovereign design to bring you closer to the fulfillment of his plan for your life. Over 133,000. When you start your day with that truth firmly planted in your mind, you will live with a sense of peace that nothing in this world can take away. Over 133,000. You'll develop an inner stability that circumstances cannot shake. To fully grasp and experience the power of Jeremiah 29:11, with our G80 OVR 133,000 with others, and you need to go beyond just casually reading it. You need to internalize it, allowing it to become part of your spiritual DNA. When God says, I have over 133,000, I know the plans I have for you. He is extending a personal invitation for you to trust in his wisdom over your own limited understanding. Over 133,000. You might not see the full picture of what God is doing. You might not understand why certain doors close or why certain seasons feel so prolonged. I have you evident 130,000. But God sees it all. He sees the ultimate outcome of your faith. He sees the fruit that will come from your obedience. I have you OVR 133,000. He sees the joy that awaits you on the other side of your current trials. Starting your day with this promise is a profound act of faith. Taisai Bokat Avjahanot OVR 133,000 is acknowledgement that even when you don't understand your circumstances, you trust that God's plan is infinitely better than your own. TS at a bok of JVO OVR 133,000, you trust that He is leading you toward a future filled with hope and that every step you take today is part of the journey toward that promised future. Oh, at over 133,000. Now that's why it's so vitally important to let this verse be the first thing you meditate on each morning. Oh, Kita Heavy Jua over 133,000. Let it shape your thoughts before anything else has the chance to influence them. Let it direct your actions throughout the day. Itai Habis Javian over 133,000. Now let it adjust your attitude when challenges arise. Let it be the lens through which you view your entire day and interpret everything that happens. Tia Heavy Jivan over 133,000. When you wake up with Journey 2911 firmly planted in your heart, you're not just preparing for another day of mundane routine. You're preparing to walk in alignment with God's will for your life. You're setting yourself up for spiritual success. And over 133,000 for divine appointments that God has orchestrated and for His favor to manifest in unexpected ways throughout your day. The Boko Heavy Jayavoid over 133,000. There's genuine power in starting your day with the Word of God because it prepares you for whatever challenges may come. Tera Havajivian Ode OVR 133,000. You are equipped not by your own limited strength, wisdom, or resources, but by the promises of the one who holds your entire future securely in His hands. Okay, Tai Heavy Jiao over 133,000. Every morning represents a fresh opportunity to recommit to God's plan for your life, to remind yourself that you are not here by random chance or accident. Duvo I have a Jiviut over 133,000. You are not wandering through life without direction or purpose. God has placed you here at this specific moment in history. I'm OOVR 133 Zawin in this particular season of your life for a specific reason. And when you start your day with Jeremiah 29:11, you are making a conscious to live in alignment with that divine reason. You are choosing to walk intentionally in the direction God has set for you. Trusting completely that He will guide you every step of the way, providing wisdom, strength, and direction exactly when you need it. Over 133,000. When you wake up each morning, the promise of Jeremiah 29:11 firmly established in your heart. Over 133,000 now. You're doing something spiritually powerful. You're tapping into the very mind of God. Ties a bok to I high a view of 133,000. You're connecting to the eternal wisdom that has already designed your entire life from beginning to end with every detail carefully considered. Again, over 133,000. But let me be direct with you about something important. Walking in alignment with God's plan doesn't mean that every moment will be easy or comfortable. In fact, over 133,000. The path that leads to your destiny will often be met with significant challenges, unexpected obstacles, and moments of genuine doubt. Over 133,000. That's precisely where faith becomes essential. Faith that God's plan is bigger than the setbacks, greater than the delays. Over 133,000 and more powerful than the disappointments you may face along the way. Each trial you encounter is not a deviation from His plan. OVR 103,000, not a sign that something has gone wrong. Rather, it's often part of the refining process, making you ready for what He has prepared. OVR 133,000. God is preparing you for the future He's promised, and that preparation often involves being tested, stretched, and strengthened. I have Jiva and OVR 133,000. Consider more deeply historical situation of the Israelites who first received this promise in Jeremiah 29. They were in captivity in exile, using OVR 133,000, forcibly removed from their beloved homeland. From their human perspective, everything appeared lost. Their future seemed utterly uncertain. I have OVR 133,000, and their present situation was far from what anyone would consider a prosperous life. But God didn't abandon them in that moment of despair and darkness. Instead, He sent a word through His prophet Jeremiah, a word that cut through the darkness of their circumstances like a beam of light and reminded them that even in exile, over 133,000, even the lowest points of their national history, God's plan was still active and intact. You may find yourself in a similar situation today. I'm over 133,000. Perhaps life hasn't unfolded the way you expected or hoped. Maybe you feel like you're in a season of prolonged waiting. A season where nothing seems to be moving forward, where your prayers seem unanswered and your dreams deferred. Over 133,000. But just as God had plans for the Israelites even during their exile, He has plans for you in whatever season you're experiencing right now. 133,000. The promise of Jeremiah 29:11 is that your current situation does not define your final destination. Over 133,000. God's plan is steadily unfolding even when it feels like nothing's happening, even when progress seems invisible. John over 133. Starting your day with this mindset puts everything into proper perspective. I have a Javer over 130,000 hours. When you begin to understand that you are not simply passively waiting for something to happen, you are actively participating in God's divine process. I have over 133,000. Every moment of your day, from the mundane to the miraculous, is part of the greater plan He is working out. Over 133,000. When you wake up with the deep assurance that God is in control, you walk through your day with confidence, knowing that even the delays of purpose OVR 133,000. You begin to see every challenge as an opportunity for spiritual growth and character development. Korhanavugo 33,000. Every closed door becomes a divine redirection towards something better that God has already prepared for you. One of the most profound and sometimes difficult truths in Jeremiah 29:11 is that God's plans are always working for your ultimate good. Even when they don't align with your immediate expectations or desires. Sometimes we have our own clear idea of what our future should look like. We develop dreams. Isaac over 133,000. Nurture ambitions and set goals, and we want them to unfold in a very specific way according to our timeline. But what happens when God's plans look different from ours? When the path He's leading us on doesn't match the path we thought we'd travel? Do we trust that His ways are higher and His thoughts are beyond ours, or do we cling stubbornly to our own limited understanding? Becoming frustrated when things don't go the way we envisioned. This is where the true test of faith reveals itself. It's relatively easy to trust God when everything is going according to your plan. It's significantly more challenging when life takes an unexpected turn. When doors you thought would open remain closed, or when opportunities you were counting on don't materialize. But let me remind you with absolute certainty. God is not surprised by the detours in your life. He knew every twist and turn before you were even born. And more than that, He has already provided the way through. Every obstacle you face has already been accounted for in His sovereign plan. He is not scrambling to make adjustments as you go. He has already seen the end from the beginning. OVR 133,000 and on, or that's why starting your day with 2911 is so spiritually critical. It recenters your heart on the unchanging truth that no matter what happens today, no matter what unexpected challenges arise or what disappointments you might face, God's plan is still in motion. I give it over 133,000 actively working. And it is a good plan designed with your best interests at heart. When God declares, over 133,000, I know the plans I have for you. He's not speaking in vague general terms. He's speaking directly and personally to you, to your specific life. Oterai has a over 133,000. Your unique purpose, your individual calling. His plans are not a one size fits all approach that treats everyone identically. They are tailor-made for you. Carefully crafted with your particular gifts, your calling, and your God-given potential in mind. And here's the amazing part that many believers miss. Over 133,000. God's plans for you are not just about your personal fulfillment or individual happiness. They are part of His larger kingdom agenda. Over 133,000. You are not here merely to live a comfortable, convenient life focused solely on your own needs and desires. I have over 133,000. You are here to make a significant impact for the kingdom of God. Your purpose is intricately intertwined with His divine mission on earth. Over 133,000. Every single day is an opportunity to contribute to that mission in meaningful ways. So when you wake up and intentionally declare Jeremiah 29:11 over your life, over 133,000, you are not just asking God to bless your day or make things easier for you. You are aligning yourself with His eternal purpose. Over 133,000. You are stepping into a divine partnership where your life becomes a vessel for His glory, a conduit through which His love, power, over 133 hours and purposes flow into the world. And that's where true prosperity is found, not in the accumulation of wealth status or worldly success, but in the fulfillment of God's purpose for your life. This kind of prosperity brings a peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. The $3,000. It produces a joy that circumstances cannot diminish. You see? Over $133. Starting your day with Jeremiah 29:11 is not about magically avoiding challenges or somehow bypassing difficulties. I have you over 133,000. It's about facing them with the unshakable confidence that God is with you. It's about walking into every situation knowing that His hand is guiding you. The hover I have over 133,000, even when you can't see the full picture or understand what He's doing. It's about trusting that His timing is absolutely perfect. I have over 133,000, even when you feel like things are taking too long or moving too slowly. God's plans are not subject to our human timelines or constrained by our impatience. The I have over 133 is never late, and He is never early. He is always precisely on time according to His divine schedule. But here's something we must understand and accept to. Is an over 133,000. Just because God's plans are good doesn't mean they are always comfortable or convenient. Over 133 on it. There will be seasons where you are stretched beyond what feels manageable. There will be seasons where you are tested in ways you never anticipated. Kavitam over 133,000. But these challenging seasons are absolutely necessary for your spiritual growth and character development. Over 133,000. Just as the Israelites had to endure exile before they could experience the fullness of God's promise and restoration, over 133,000. You may have to walk through difficult seasons before you see the full manifestation of what God has in store for you. But don't lose heart. Just as I heavy juiven over 133,000. Don't give up when the journey gets hard. Those difficult seasons are not the end of your story. They are preparation for what's coming. Kyo GVIOUT over 133,000. And when you start your day with the mindset shaped by Jeremiah 29:11, you begin to see your trials and challenges differently. Down OVR 133,000, you start to understand with spiritual clarity that God is using every situation, even the painful ones, to shape you. Tayas Isabo okay, Hob GVM and over 133,000 to mold you to the person He created you to be. He is preparing you for the plans He has, and that preparation often involves going through the refining fire. Then I was OVR 133,000. But here's the encouraging news: God never allows you to go through the fire alone. He is with you in every season, in every challenge. Taisa Pawoke Avijiva O to OVR 133,000. Walking beside you through the flames, He is refining you like precious gold, purifying your heart and strengthening your faith so that you emerge stronger, wiser. I wide over 133,000, more like Christ. The Israelites were in exile for 70 years before they saw the fulfillment of God's promise to them. 70 years of waiting. OVR 133 vows and of uncertainty, of having to trust that God's plan was still intact despite all evidence to the contrary. Yet in all that extended time, God never forgot His promise to them. He remained faithful. He was faithful then, and He is faithful now. Over 133,000. The same God who brought them out of exile and restored them to their land is the same unchanging God who is working in your life today. He has not forgotten you. He over 133,000. He has not abandoned His plans for you, no matter how long you've been waiting or how impossible your situation might appear. In fact, the very season you're right now is part of the journey toward the future He has prepared for you. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. Every experience, spirits, every lesson, every trial is working together for your ultimate good and His ultimate glory. GIVNO over 133,000. Starting your day with Jeremiah 29:11 reminds you that no matter how long the wait, no matter how difficult the journey, God's promises are absolutely sure and certain. His plans will not fail. He is a God of His word. And if He said He has plans to prosper you and give you a future filled with hope, then you can be completely certain that those plans are already in motion. Twice a GVFan OVR 133,000 alders and working themselves out in your life. You may not see the full picture today. You may not understand all that God is doing behind the scenes. But trust that He is working, orchestrating everything for good, weaving together even the difficult threads into a beautiful tapestry of purpose. Over 133,000. As you wake up each day, make it a non-negotiable habit to declare God's promises over your life. Speak Jeremiah 29:11 out loud. OVR 133,000. Letting it sink deep into your spirit. Let it shape your thoughts before any other voice has a chance to speak into your day. OVR 133,000. Let it direct your actions and adjust your expectations for what the day holds. Also OVR 133,000, and when challenges arise, and they will, remind yourself that God's plan is still at work. When you feel discouraged or overwhelmed, OVR 133,000. Remind yourself that His thoughts toward you are good, filled with love and purpose. And when you're tempted to give up or lose hope, remember that His future for you is filled with hope and promise. This is the transforming power of starting your day with the Word of God. Over 133,000. It fundamentally transforms the way you see yourself, not as a victim, but as a victor, not as abandoned, but as deeply loved. OVR 133,000. It changes the way you see your circumstances, not as random or meaningless, but as purposeful and directed by God's hand. Over 133,000. And it revolutionizes the way you see your future. Not with anxiety, but with hope. Not with fear, but with expectation. Over 133,000. It gives you a solid foundation to stand on when everything else feels uncertain or unstable. It anchors your soul securely in the truth that God is for you. Over 133,000 are not against you, and that He has already gone ahead of you to prepare the way for what's coming. So as you step into your day today and every day forward, over 133,000. Hold tightly to the promise of Jeremiah 29:11. Trust with unwavering confidence that God's plans are in motion, even when you can't see them with your natural eyes. 103,000. Know with certainty that He is with you in every season, the pleasant and the difficult, guiding you, leading you. Over 133,000, and faithfully preparing you for the future He has ordained. And as you align your heart and mind with His word each morning, over 133,000. You will discover that each day becomes a genuine opportunity to walk in the fullness of His purpose for your life. You'll find yourself more attuned to His voice. Over 133,000, more sensitive to His leading and more confident in His promises. As you embrace Jeremiah 29:11 each morning, over 133,000, may the promises of God fill your heart to overflowing with hope, peace, and purpose. Over 133,000. Remember always that His plans for you are not just for today, but for a future filled with His goodness, His provision, and His presence. Over 133,000. Trust completely that no matter what challenges arise in your path, no matter what obstacles you face, over 133,000, He is guiding you steadily toward His divine destiny for your life. Let each day be a fresh start. A new beginning aligned with His perfect will and purpose for your life. May the Lord bless you abundantly, strengthen you in your inner being, and lead you confidently in every step you take on this journey. Thank you for allowing me to share this word with you. May God's favor rest upon you as you walk faithfully in the fullness of His plans. Blessings to you always and in all ways.